Welcome to Hollywood Bulletin, your backstage pass to music legends, untold stories, and rock and roll revelations. If the end of the world was near, Mick Jagger would still have something to say, and that something is bold, unfiltered, and unforgettable. Now 81, the iconic Rolling Stones frontman has finally opened up about the few women in rock who truly left him in awe. Known for being one of the hardest artists to impress, especially within the cutthroat world of rock, Jagger spent decades rarely handing out compliments. But time humbles even legends, and now he's naming 6 women who completely blew him away. Some of these choices will absolutely surprise you. Let's start with Janis Joplin. Though the media often framed Joplin and Jagger as rivals in the 1960s, and yes, they reportedly butted heads more than once behind the curtain, Mick deeply admired her. Her presence was electric, her voice unmatched, gritty, raw, and full of soul. She didn't just break molds, she incinerated them. She sang like each word was torn from her bones. And that vulnerability made her magnetic. Born in conservative Port Arthur, Texas, Janis never fit the mold. She was mocked for her looks, shamed for her independence, but those very qualities shaped her fire. A self-taught powerhouse, she performed for beer and a laugh, not knowing she'd become the first true queen of rock. Janis didn't hide who she was. She lived loud, loved freely, and sang like her heart was burning. Jagger couldn't ignore that. She once sent a helicopter to pick up her friend for Woodstock because if she was going to set the world on fire, she wanted her people there to see it. Even her will reflected her spirit. She left money for her friends to throw a party, signing it with one simple phrase: "The drinks are on Pearl." Next, Tina Turner, the fireball Jagger never forgot. When she passed away in 2023 at 83, the tributes poured in, but none hit quite like Jagger's. He called her a phenomenal performer, a warm friend, and someone who helped him find his footing in music. Born Anna Mae Bullock in Nutbush, Tennessee, Tina went from picking cotton to setting stadiums ablaze. Her voice thundered, her stage presence shook the ground, and her legs, yes, they were insured for millions, were only matched by her unstoppable energy. She taught Jagger dance moves on tour long before he found his groove. Rumor has it that his signature style was lifted right from Tina and her backup dancers. Though Mick claimed otherwise, still, the influence was clear. From duets like Honky Tonk Woman to their unforgettable Live 8 performance, Tina matched Mick step for step and sometimes outshined him. She wasn't just a singer. She was a storm, wrapped in sequins. Her joy, even after surviving unspeakable pain, made her radiant. And Mick, like the rest of the world, couldn't take his eyes off her. Then comes the sorceress herself, Stevie Nicks, with her shawls, boots, and spellbinding voice. Stevie didn't just sing, she cast spells. Born Stephanie Lynn Nicks in 1948, she was already writing music in high school before joining Lindsey Buckingham and eventually joining Fleetwood Mac. That's when everything exploded. Albums like Rumors turned heartbreak into poetry, and Stevie's songs like Landslide and Dreams became emotional lifelines. She wasn't aggressive like Janis or fiery like Tina. Her power was quieter, deeper. Jagger saw that. He invited her to perform on tour in 1981, and while she didn't match his chaotic energy, she lured him into hers. A slow burn, a controlled storm. She said he flirted, but never pushed because he knew she already had the room in her palm. Jagger respected that kind of control. In her solo career, Belladonna went straight to #1, proving she could thrive on her own terms. She influenced everyone from Destiny's Child to Taylor Swift to Harry Styles. She didn't follow trends, she created them, and she never apologized for being exactly who she was. Next up, Chrissie Hynde, the fearless founder of the Pretenders. Born in Akron, Ohio, she never dreamed of weddings, she dreamed of stages. She moved to London with no plan, worked in punk fashion, and fought her way through the scene with a guitar and grit. By 1979, the Pretenders dropped their debut album, and Chrissie was instantly unforgettable. She didn't have a classically trained voice, she didn't want one. She sang with heart, defiance, and scars. Her stage presence was raw, grounded, and impossible to ignore. Even Madonna once said Chrissie gave her courage. Jagger was drawn to her because she didn't ask for the spotlights, it followed her. She stood toe-to-toe with rock's biggest egos and never blinked. That's the kind of energy that earns Mick's respect. Then there's Patti Smith, the poet-punk from New Jersey who didn't just perform music, she weaponized it. She arrived in New York with nothing but dreams and became an underground legend through sheer grit. Patti's debut album, Horses, was an explosion, wild, literary, and unapologetic. Her voice wasn't perfect, but it was powerful. Her lyrics, more manifesto than melody. She didn't aim to entertain, she aimed to awaken. Rumors once swirled that Jagger offered her a spot opening for the Stones. She didn't take it, but the admiration was real. Jagger saw in Patti what he saw in himself, a creator who didn't wait for permission. Patti made space for herself, cut through the noise, and dared people to listen. She didn't chase fame, she chased truth. And Jagger knew the difference. Finally, Debbie Harry, the face of Blondie, the original punk pop queen. Before she was a star, she was a Jersey girl bouncing through New York's art scene, waiting tables and living in rehearsal spaces. Her look turned heads, but her attitude made people stop. She wasn't just another pretty face, she was the whole act. Blondie fused punk, disco, and even rap. Yes, Debbie was the first woman to rap on a #1 Billboard hit with Rapture. She didn't ask for approval, she took it. Madonna, Lady Gaga, and even Eminem point to her as an icon. And Jagger, he saw her swagger. Debbie didn't mimic male rockers, she outdid them. She flipped the gaze, exaggerated it, mocked it, and mastered it. That's why Mick respected her. She didn't just play the game, she changed it. So, which of these women shocked you most? Which one do you think had the biggest influence on Mick Jagger's evolution as a performer? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin, and ring the bell icon so you never miss another deep dive into music's most legendary stories.